Thanks for watching Littleton Common. And now here's Barbara McCrae and Mark Crory. Welcome to the November/December, maybe, edition of Littleton Common. And I'm Mark Crory, Barbara McCrae. How you doing, Barbara?
Good, good. You know what? Since I last saw you, we changed from daylight savings time on November 3rd. Mm-hmm. Did you do anything to make it easier to become in tune with sleeping one more hour?
No, and it messes me up usually for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's tough to get in that rhythm and things. I do not like leaving work when it's dark.
Yeah.
And driving home when it's dark. It's one thing if I'm working a late night meeting, but when you leave at the regular time and it's dark, it stinks.
Yeah, it does.
I don't like it.
And, you know, I needed the sleep so that I could vote on November 5th. Mm-hmm. And I hope I was awake when I did it.
Well, it's our patriotic duty,
right,
to do
right.
that. So
I did do it, and I'm happy about that part.
yeah.
But
Let's hope we can get past all the election stuff and all the rhetoric that goes on in an election year and
move on.
Move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know we got through Halloween with, 78-degree weather?
I know.
And then who knows about Thanksgiving, because November 5th was also 78 degrees.
Right.
What'll happen?
I don't know. Last year was a green Christmas, if you remember.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. I'm not a big snow guy, but I do like it for Christmas morning when you wake up, have some snow there,
Yeah.
That's always fun. But other than that, I don't really have.
Yeah, I like it. I like it to be there on Christmas.
Yeah. What about Thanksgiving? What are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, Stephanie's guy, Eric, is going to have it at his house this time. So I don't have to do it, although lately I've never made the Thanksgiving meal. We ordered it. I gave up on building it myself because we had quite a family together. And so,
Yeah.
What about your house?
My house, well, of the 6 kids, just 2, I think, will probably be there. I'm not sure if my college-bound kid is coming home. I would assume probably he would come home for Thanksgiving. He's only at UNH, so it's not that far. So.
What about your grandchild?
No, she probably won't be there for Thanksgiving, so unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the Thanksgiving holiday means the annual Rotary Club pancake breakfast, which is on Thanksgiving morning, right? Do you go to that?
I haven't been, but it sounds awfully good.
Yeah, I haven't been either, I have to confess, but I'm not a big breakfast guy for Thanksgiving Day because unfortunately, I'm going to...
Oh, you're saving up for the rest of the day?
I'm saving up. There's no room in there when I'm done. But anyway, the Thanksgiving breakfast is at Littleton Middle School. Traditionally, it's sponsored by the Rotary Club. And then after breakfast, you can get in your car and drive over to Air High School for the annual Turkey Day High School football game. And it should be a pretty evenly matched game this year, which will make for great entertainment. Nobody wants to go home and have to eat crow after you lost. The Holiday Bazaar will be here on Saturday, December 7th. And it's time to see what those crafters have been doing all year and what the nonprofit organizations will be selling again. And what a great time to see people you haven't seen in a while. Santa will be there to take pictures with you and the kiddies and to hear what he will need for his list, so make sure you get your list ready for Santa. And as is tradition, the Holiday Bazaar is always on the first Saturday in December. And then the tree lighting is always on the first Sunday in December. And usually these 2 events happen back to back. But this year, since the first Sunday is December 1st and the first Saturday is December 7th, those 2 events are a week apart. So please make note of that the Holiday Bazaar and the tree lighting are going to be a whole week apart. So be aware.
Well, I'm sure that no one will miss it anyway because those are 2 fun things to go to.
They are.
And you know, garden club members will start doing their magic by crafting beautiful arrangements and wreaths for your holiday decorations. Every year, this group of gardeners put together all the talent they have and bring the results to the town fair.
Nice. You know, recently, Barbara, I got to tag along with a group that was touring the new senior center and checking in on the work that's being done so far there. So if you're interested in what it looks like inside the building, because we've all seen the outside, check this out.
This is the main entrance lobby. This is our elevator. Hasn't started construction yet. It goes in there. Comes in a big puzzle. We'll be starting installation of the elevator next week. This is the main reception area. There'll be a pass-through and some cabinetry in the back with a fireplace. Main stair take you up to the second floor. Down this way, and we'll walk it. If you can head down this way. This is the gallery area. And straight down to the gallery area if we go in here. This is actually the multi-purpose room.
The back room, the kitchen.
The back room is the kitchen. Excuse me.
That's where I'll be.
Come on in, folks. Oh, that's where you'll be?
Yeah, that's mine.
I don't know what the occupant load in here is. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the occupant load is. But it gets a wall, a folding wall that you can fold up into two pockets there. Becomes two rooms. This is also going to be a pickleball court. And then over there we have the kitchen with the serving counter. Kitchen has not been sheetrocked yet. We'll be sheetrocking that tomorrow. And the big window is a serving counter. And it's a full commercial kitchen. And then we have two means of egress out of the multi-purpose room.
This is where all our big events are going to happen. All our big lunches, stretch and flex, daily meal program, Meals on Wheels come out of our kitchen. This is it. We actually have windows and light in our multi-purpose room. The gallery is here, so we can display pictures and artwork, but we also have a seating area with little tables right in this nook here, like a cafe seating almost. So if you're waiting to go into the multi-purpose room, or you grab a coffee at the diner and you're waiting for a program to start upstairs, or you're just looking for somewhere to sit and read a newspaper, you can sit here. And we'll have artwork on this wall. There's an exit door out here, and lots of storage back that way. This is the main lobby, so we have a seating area here with comfy chairs, and you can sit by, have some nice reading light. We have another seating area here, and then behind this is the study area that Al mentioned that has the fireplace and the built-in cabinets, things like that. The reception desk is right here, like a horseshoe shape that comes along here. So we have good visual of who's coming in the building, who's coming out, who's going upstairs, who's taking the elevator. So we'll really be able to keep track of who's in the building pretty well here. Behind this area is all the staff offices, and then we have a good-sized conference room right here. Staff bathroom. This is like our administrative area, where our admin assistant will sit here. She'll have good ear on what's going on at the main desk while she's doing her duties, and our copier, printer, counter, everything right here. Director and assistant director offices are here. This is either veterans or outreach, and then we have another veterans or outreach, these three offices here. Then we have exit out here, and there's a brand new retaining wall out there.
I like the retaining wall.
Yes, it's really nice looking. There it goes, there it is. This won't be for public.
This is
going
employee
in.
entrance as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah. And then the rest of the offices and the kitchenette are down this way. Let's start over here. This is program room 1 and program room 2. One of these is the arts and crafts room. The other one is a activity program lecture room. There's built-in cabinets and closets, lots of storage. There's a sink in each room, which is especially great for crafts. Art things. Great view of the library out this window. And each room will have TV screen in case we need to show videos or slideshows for a presentation. This area here is the billiards room. And so the elevator opens here. There's restrooms behind me. We'll have 2 billiards tables. We'll have a seating area over here, a little lounge. What we found talking to a lot of senior centers is it's great to have little spaces to sit and congregate even when you're not involved in a program. So you'll see throughout the building that we have different seating areas kind of scattered throughout. Little conversation catcher is what we call them. So great little one over there by the windows, a couple seats over here. This is all open so you can see down to the first floor. What's that? Elevator, yeah. So one of the challenges of having a 2-floor senior center is it's kind of difficult to see who's in the building coming and going. So we've built in a little volunteer staff nook right here so that we'll have someone stationed up here at all times, a senior tax worker, a volunteer, a staff member. So we can check anyone who is going to use the fitness room to make sure everyone signed their waivers appropriately, that they are able to use it, and have a good sense of what's going on upstairs on the 2nd floor. So if you come down this way, this is a fitness room that will just remain open, so it can also be used as a program room if needed, but there will be the Pilates ballet bar with mirrors in this room, and it'll be wide open with storage. And then this is the fitness equipment room down here where we will have the actual stationary equipment like treadmills, recumbent bikes, new steps, things of that nature.
Rubenhor Library Director Sam Alvarez joins us now to tell us about some cool things happening up at the library. Hi, Sam.
Thanks, Mark. Here are some of the upcoming events for adults at the Rubenhor Library. Please remember to check the library website at littletonlibrary.org for updates and to register. Author and Chronicle journalist Ted Reinstein will discuss his new book, Travels Through the Heart and Soul of New England, on Tuesday, November 12th at 6:30 in the Sturts Room. Ted's book talks about his travels through New England and the interesting people he's met that are the heart and soul of the region. On Thursday, November 14th at 6:30, Lois from the Health Equity Partnership of North Central Massachusetts will be at the library to hear your thoughts on the closure of Neshoba Medical Center in Air. She will also be recruiting participants for visioning sessions to prioritize how to help people access healthcare in our area. Victorian Christmas with Diane Terraz takes place on Saturday, December 14th at 1 in the Sturts Room. Many of our holiday traditions and much of our Christmas music was revived or created during the Victorian era in the mid-1800s. Diane presents these beloved carols together with fascinating stories about their origins. She performs in a hand-sewn 1850s dress and accompanies herself on the guitar. In the teen room, Teen Lo-Fi Study Lounge will take place on Wednesdays at 2:30 in the Murray Room. There's a great opportunity for teens to socialize, relax, and do homework or study. Teens Dungeons and Dragons Club will meet on Thursdays at 6 in the Sturts Meeting Room. Teen and YA Board Game Cafe will meet on Saturday, November 23rd at 12:30 in the Murray Room. In the children's room, toddler story time will take place on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. in the Sturts room. Littles and Letters alphabet story takes place on Wednesdays at 11 in the Sturts meeting room. In Littles and Letters story time, we do a fun story for ages 4 and up, centered around one letter a week. PJ story time with SLS teacher Mrs. McNaught will be held on Wednesday, November 13th at 6:30 in the children's room. Busy Bees Playtime meets on Monday, November 18th at 10 in the Sturts meeting room. And join Miss Julie as she teaches you how to paint a fall scene on Friday, November 15th at 2 in the Sturts meeting room. Baby Garden Story Time for children 0 to 18 months meets Thursdays, November 7th and 21st at 10:30 in the Sturts meeting room. Lego Club for ages 6 and up meets Wednesday, November 20th at 4 in the Sturts room. Littleton Country Gardener's Craft for children in grades 3 through 5 meets Monday, November 25th at 3:30 in the Sturts room. And don't forget, this month, the library will operate on a special holiday schedule for Thanksgiving. On Wednesday, November 27th, the library will close at 4, and we are closed on Thanksgiving Day, November 28th, and Friday, November 29th. We'll reopen on Saturday, November 30th, during our regular hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday season.
Attorney Kitty O'Connor is back this month with another extremely helpful topic, and rather than have me explain it, here she is to tell you all about it.
And thank you for having me back to continue my discussion about estate planning and long-term care planning issues. As I said last time, as we get older, we become more and more concerned about long-term care issues. It's a very complicated area. Basically, long-term care issues arise when we get older and we have activities of daily living that become compromised. Washing, bathing, walking, transferring, etc. And the catch-all is dementia, which unfortunately is affecting more and more of our senior population. So there are basically two ways to pay for the long-term care that arises when we get older and we need assistance. One is to private pay, with or without a supplemental stream of income from a long-term care insurance policy, and the other payor can be Medicaid. In order to qualify for Medicaid, an applicant has to have less than $2,000 in his or her name and have the requisite medical needs in order to qualify. So if an individual is able to plan ahead of time, there are planning opportunities to preserve and protect assets for the individual, the spouse, and the family. However, not everybody has the opportunity, and so what happens then when someone needs nursing home care or care in the community? Again, if you have long-term care insurance, that can help supplement your income in order to pay for those expenses. Mass Health requires, as I said, that the applicant be under $2,000 in assets, but if he or she has a spouse in the community, they can have up to $156,000. It's an amount that's adjusted every year. In his or her name, the house, the primary residence, is not a countable asset. The other non-countable assets are motor vehicle, burial plots, burial accounts, etc. There's a few small items that are deemed non-countable. So there are some techniques that we are able to engage in under the current rules and regulations to allow a community spouse to maintain additional amounts of monies through the use of special annuities. So the process for applying for Mass Health benefits, either in a nursing home or in the community, is fairly long and complicated. It requires a review of up to 5 years' worth of your financial statements and other eligibility requirements. At my office, we have a specialist who does nothing but Medicaid applications. She's terrific. And we can help people who are either in the nursing home, who develop a diagnosis, a medical condition, where long-term care is much more of an issue on their radar. But the earlier that you contact us or attorneys who are similarly positioned to assist you, the better it is. And even when we meet with our clients who are just doing long-term care, just doing estate planning, we often review long-term care issues just so we can educate people about what to expect if that does become an issue for them. What can they anticipate? How can they plan for it? How to think about it. There's unfortunately a lot of misinformation or bad information out there about Mass Health, about long-term care issues. And it's always better to consult with an attorney who is familiar with the rules and regulations in order to properly plan for your future, and also, again, the objective of preserving and protecting resources, especially for the community spouse and for extended family members. So there are a lot of planning opportunities, is my takeaway message to you, but the sooner you consult with an attorney, the more opportunity you will have to learn and to plan for yourself. Thank you again for having me today, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and happy holidays.
Veterans Day is November 11th, and thank you for your service. And thank you to their families, husbands, wives, and children who keep family together. I consider them to be brave soldiers too.
Yeah, you know, you being the wife of a military guy who was gone overseas quite a bit, and
Yep.
you were home holding the
School.
fort down. It
Yeah.
really is a tough
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, he had classes sometimes where he'd be gone a month at a time, or else, you know, our first separation was Vietnam, of course. And then when we moved here, it was Saudi Arabia. And Alan told me I wouldn't want to be in Saudi Arabia anyway. I wasn't allowed to go. But he said because you wouldn't be able to paint, the sand would be all over your drawings, and you couldn't drive. I couldn't drive. Have to wear certain length clothes.
Right, right.
And so he said, I don't think you would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy being separated, but we managed to get through,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, thank you for your service.
I want you to meet my friend Elspeth Richards. We were stationed together with our husbands during a few tours while in the military. After retirement, we settled in Massachusetts, and Elspeth and Jim in Montana. But we were never far away from each other over the years and have visited and kept in touch. Jim left us in 2019. Last year, Elspeth decided to take her car and travel across the country by herself. Today, I want you to share her adventures with everyone. And let's begin at the beginning, okay? What reason, why you decided to take this trip by yourself cross country?
Well, Jim and I had always been campers and RVers, and in the wintertime we took our camper and went to Arizona for about 5 months every year.
Oh, wow.
And I absolutely loved it, and so did he. And after he passed away, there was no way I could manage a large rig and a truck and all of that, so I didn't do it. And I really got to missing it. I got itchy feet being in the military and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to mention the fact that it was easy for you because you don't like to cook. You don't want to worry about the house.
So many reasons not to be home.
And you didn't want to be winter in Montana, right?
Right.
So anyway,
It was a great escape.
yeah. And you also wanted to, you have 2 boys,
Yep.
and one is in Tennessee
Right.
with his family, 7 grandchildren. And Joe is is it New Jersey or New York?
He's in New York City.
Yeah, and he's doing great stuff with
He is.
building
with the
sets
theater
for
and that's
theater.
Right. And
So,
it's a new job, so it was fun to think to go see him.
yeah,
And he needed some tools, so that was my real excuse.
for
to
coming
just-
this way this time.
Right.
But last year,
Last year I went more mid-USA and south. But this time I've covered many more northern states. And it was nice to come back to New England and visit.
well, we have the map in back of us, and it shows your first trip, which really is a long, long way to go by yourself. But in the meantime, being military,
Oh,
because you are an Army brat and also was an Army nurse, and then married Jim, who was in the Army, and traveled. So we always meet a lot of people when we're a military family, which is one of the reasons I really liked it and why we met.
right. Yep.
So anyway, this way you could visit old friends along the way. But you told me, and I was a little bit surprised how when you're not visiting friends and you need a place to sleep, tell them where you put your car overnight.
I almost always, if possible, stay at a Cracker Barrel. They are very welcoming. They like RVs and people that are traveling, of course, because they go and have breakfast or dinner there. And it always is in a good part of town and safe. And so I just snuggle up into my little minivan. I've got a little Chrysler 2009 minivan, and I get into that after I've had my dinner, and I sleep like a rock. I sleep 12 hours some nights, solid.
Geez, when I go to a motel or a hotel, I'm awake half the night because it's different. I can imagine me sleeping in my car.
I just, once I lock those locks on the door, I feel very, very safe.
Well, you also have some small conveniences in that car. And one of them is a pot to make soup, and it plugs into the cigarette lighter.
I just discovered that this year, and it really comes from a lot of the truckers on the road. Apparently, they've used them for years. It's a little 32-ounce crock pot, and it heats food up to 165 degrees.
Wow.
So you can go to a deli on the way and stop at a grocery store and find something that looks good that you might want for dinner and be heating that up as you travel in the afternoon. Then you have whatever it is you want for dinner.
See, so that you're still cooking.
Oh, that kind of cooking I can do for a long, long time.
Well, how many hours a day have you driven?
You know, I wasn't sure. At first I thought, oh, I'll do 3 or 4. And I really am comfortable 6 or 7 hours and between 300 and 400 miles a day if I'm, really headed to a destination.
Yeah, I would be dozing along the way. That's a long time for me to be,
focus.
Focused on going.
But I enjoy driving. I don't mind it at all. I must say the driving in Montana is very different than the driving in New Jersey near New York City. But and so those days are not as long, and I don't get as many miles when I'm here in the Northeast.
Oh yeah, well you got to find the street, and that's pretty hard. Yeah. You have your little GPS, but oftentimes they put you on a street that doesn't connect with what you want.
Yeah, I do have the secret if anybody wants that.
Sure. My
son told me, because I got rerouted several times when I was trying to meet up with him in New York. And I was supposed to be going east on some route, and it kept saying west on the map. So I wouldn't take it. And Joe finally told me, he said, Mom, just follow the little white arrow and make sure it's on the blue street. It doesn't matter what the words say. So that's a huge hint for me when I'm traveling 9,000 miles or so.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you did last year.
Right.
October 12th, you left?
I left. Mm-hmm.
Montana, and you did 9,000 miles.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How fun. And I know you must have had some good adventures. You did have fun meeting up with people.
Oh, my gosh. It's almost the best part of the trip, really. It's fun to take the trip, but it's really fun to catch up with all.
I found it fun that you came. Yeah. But because last year I was disappointed because you had thought you'd come up this way, but you didn't. So I kept saying, you are going to come back, right? Because we need to share this, that you're doing this. Another interesting thing about you being a woman doing this, you said you found out there are lots and lots of women who travel like that alone.
Yep, there are. The place I found the most information was on YouTube. And if you look under single women or single seniors traveling,
Seniors.
yep, yep. And
Good.
even if they're not doing trips like I'm doing, I mean, I don't know that they typically do that, but they have meetups and they will meet for a long weekend. Even in New England, were several
Wow.
videos of people that were meeting, and they have meetups and places you go to find out the dates and the times. And then they meet other friends that are interested in doing the same kinds of things, or they may go to Florida, they may meet out in Arizona.
Yeah,
There's
that's
just-
great.
It's a lot of
Well,
variety.
that's almost like people who have big RVs meeting up too. And
Right, right.
yeah, but I like your car, but I'm hoping that you get something else where, I mean, you can't stand up in your car.
I can't.
And
I can't.
you've got it packed really good, but you've got to make a little bed at night and rearrange things.
It's a lot of rearranging.
Yeah, I know, because we've been looking for things in your car.
Can't find them. And I know they're there somewhere.
Yeah, we've been trying to find a little package in there, and you spent a long time, but you still haven't found it.
No.
At least you found me once I got in there. I'm so glad. Yeah, I want you to get something a little better than that. I'm going to harp on that.
I needed to try this to see if I even liked doing it at first. I didn't want to jump in and get an RV that you drive.
Yeah. Well, you don't.
which would-
You don't need a really big one for you,
No.
but there are some that are just right.
Yeah, there are.
This one is like, I'm a little too small. The next one might be, I'm a little too big. But you're going to find the one just right.
It's my goal this year is to work on that.
Yeah, but tell us about your other goal. You're thinking of maybe moving between the boys or coming east a little bit.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what to do when I grow up. And yeah, that's part of it. The kids are not close by, and I certainly would love to spend more time with the 7 grandchildren and the 2 great-grandchildren.
Yep.
So I'm just pondering all that and trying to figure out what would work. And yet I like still to travel. I don't want to not travel. So that's got to be part of the formula as well.
Yeah, well, you can travel from here or Pennsylvania or West Virginia. I mean, we have roads and
But
stuff.
I have very good friends in Montana. I've been there for 40 years. And so it's hard to leave good friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a dilemma that many, many seniors face often and have to make that decision. I just haven't decided what to do.
I think seniors go more for being near their kids and family.
Yeah.
We all make friends, and of course, you know that Alan and I are stationary.
Yes.
We even kept our landline so that people who we've known all the years will always know that same number and that we're in that same spot.
Right. Right.
And our kids, one lives close, the other one lives in Florida, and I'm happy with that. And we do have good friends here, and I enjoyed that a lot. But they leave us.
Right.
They move to Florida or Maine or someplace, to be near their kids.
Right.
So
Sure.
it's best you make your decision to where you think, this is where I want the rest of my future.
Right.
I want to enjoy the children, and it's a little hard, and eventually you're going to have to fly or something to get to Tennessee to see your 7 grandchildren who will eventually get married and have great-grandchildren for you.
Right. Right.
And you want to go to New York to see Joe because he does sets for theater, and you get to plays. So
I think
See
you're
how
trying
I'm-
to talk me into something, Barbara.
I am. I want you to be closer to New England so we don't have to wait years and years, although I want to tell people you and Jim did come to a Follies.
Yes, we did. And
That was wonderful
loved
because even at that time, more military friends had come. And so I always remember that, and I'm grateful.
It was a great
But I
weekend.
did send you the CDs so you could see all the photos.
And they were
You
wonderful.
never can escape from us.
You did a great job.
So if you were closer, maybe we could visit you.
Oh, okay. Will I have to cook?
Have I since you've been here?
The food has been very good.
Because I haven't been cooking. I'm always happy to hear that you don't want to cook.
We can't be the only two.
Yeah. We have other things to do. And one of the other things you've done, which I still can't get over, is you also climbed Kilimanjaro.
I did. The day after I retired, a friend of mine had gone over and laid out the route, and I spent 3 weeks over there, and we climbed Kilimanjaro and went on a safari, and
See?
it was wonderful.
See? Yeah. I keep wanting our seniors to know that, seniors, and I want the young people to know, seniors are still alive.
Oh, absolutely.
We still have vision, and we still have wants and want to do things. I've had a hard time with it. You have back problems. I've had a hard time with doing the things I love to do because of what happened. But I still have visions of I'm going to do some other stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to just give it up. So I don't want young people to think, if I turn 65, I'm dead. Or 70, or 80, and some people 90. Good Lord, my mother was golfing at 90 years old. So you just have to have strength in your mind. You may not have a lot of it in your body, but your mind is going to get you going.
And if you have a passion and you want to do something, that motivates you in itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing, is finding out what your passion is and what you really, really love to do. It doesn't matter what it is,
No.
as long as you are
It can
happy.
be crafts,
Yeah, oh, sure.
painting. It could
Absolutely.
be
It can be anything.
picking up furniture off the street. Well, I know you started on this trip on October 20th.
12th.
I thought the last one was the 12th.
I think they were both the 12th.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was kind of surprised it turned out that way. I didn't realize that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it turned out that it was
And now you're after us. You're getting ready. You've been to New York to see Joe, so now and saw a play.
I did.
Saw a set that he did.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our
And then
class.
now you're on your way to Tennessee.
Yes. To see the
I
oldest
want you
son.
to peek at Pennsylvania on your way through about maybe finding a place to park your new RV, your new home, small, tiny house or something. And, but I also want to tell people that on your way here, you said something about the leaves. And I thought it was so beautiful. I want to repeat what you said. So it said that you saw our autumn colors. They were breathtaking and so vibrant. The density of foliage was just incredible. At some places, it looked like acres and acres of a billowy puff quilt on the rolling hills, and the bright, warm sun illuminating them even more. I thought, I gotta mention that. We take it, maybe, we love it, we think it's beautiful, but I think we do take it for granted. We live in New England. And we've had people say, are the colors really like that? Or are they doing this on postcards? Colors are like that.
They really are. And in Montana, we get colors, but certainly not the volume of them that you get. And when I left on the 12th, I thought, the colors are nice. And as I went across North Dakota and Minnesota, every single day they seemed to be at peak. And for the entire 2 weeks, I had absolutely gorgeous colors all the way across the nation. I was so surprised at that.
So it means that October is a good travel month too.
Yes, it does.
And you had good weather.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
It was in the 70s almost every day. And the nights, even when I was at the Cracker Barrel, were not cold. I brought my sleeping bag from Kilimanjaro, which is a very nice down winter sleeping bag, and it was just fine. Yeah, nice and warm.
My goodness, I get a kick out of talking about it. I mean, I have gotten a kick out of us sharing our stories of what we've done in between, with the kids or travel or bases or whatever. And although you've been to a lot more than me because of being an Army brat and then being an Army nurse, an occupational therapist, right?
Right.
Were you in Vietnam?
No, I was in during Vietnam, but they didn't have occupational therapists in Vietnam.
Oh,
so I was
yeah,
stationed
well,
at Fitzsimmons.
be a little,
Yeah.
yeah, I can understand that now.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you have anything else that you think we need to know about?
Well, I just hope people consider it as a possibility if they're interested in traveling. And really, the other thing, so many people say, oh, you're brave, and aren't you afraid? And what if something happens? And it's really, I never think that way. And whenever I've gotten in a bind, people are so kind and so good, no matter where you are. I've never found, I always run into good, helpful people, and you figure it out,
Yeah.
And you can always go home. If you're not liking it, you turn around and go home.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Or stop at the next friend's house and stay a few weeks.
Right, exactly. Even better, right, yeah.
Saying you don't have to cook, I don't know how. I'm laughing at Elspeth because while she's with me, she was saying, let me do something. Let me help you. You want me to cook? You want me to do dishes? And I keep going, no, we don't need that. So she found some lights that were dead and decided to fix those. Go ahead, enjoy it. But at any rate, I am so happy that you came.
Well,
I can't tell you, and of course I don't want it to be the last time.
I hope not.
Want to have our house like on your little map up there.
Right.
And I just want you to get a bigger traveling auto.
I will probably have one by the next time you
Because
see
maybe
me.
I'll want to travel with you.
Oh,
And
well,
if you,
see, then I'd have to take friends.
that's
There's some nice alone time in the car when you're driving.
I know it would be bad if we traveled together because,
We'd be in an accident.
but we'd be out there looking for sailors. So. Well, anyway, I want you to be safe on your trip, but I want you to enjoy that ride.
Oh, I will. And thank you so much for having me. This
Oh,
has been
gee.
such a pleasure. And look, I've looked forward to it for a long
Yeah,
time.
right. But wait till you leave and when I'm alone with Alan and talking about your visit. Did you notice that she never kept quiet and I had to keep talking? No, it's been such
great.
a pleasure.
It's been good time.
I've enjoyed it so much. Love you to death. And you make sure you come back to New England.
I promise. I
Okay, so
promise.
move closer.
That'll be easier.
Good.
Well, that's a fascinating lady, traveling all around like that and sleeping in Cracker Barrel parking lots. And man, could you
That's
do that? Would you ever?
No. No, I wouldn't sleep all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she was a good soldier, too.
Yeah, right.
And remember, she was an Army brat. She was in the military and then married a military man.
Right.
So Elspeth, and raised 2 boys. So, she's
Did they
been,
go into the military?
neither one of them
No,
went
they
in.
didn't.
And one of them has 7 children.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Well, I found that very fascinating, and good for her.
Yeah.
That she's doing that.
She's
there's a lot,
80.
There's a lot of country to see, you know.
Yeah, and she also, during this interview, told us a lot of women, she was very surprised, do the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not on that list.
No, you're not on the list, but that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I want to let people know about 2 tours that will take place at the Shaker Lane School coming up on Wednesday, November 13th and Tuesday, November 19th. And the beginning around 6:30 or so. So if you were at town meeting or you saw the replay on LCTV, you know there was a presentation made by the school department and some others informing the voters and taxpayers of Littleton that there is a major project planned for the Shaker Lane School. And this project is going to be very expensive. And you need to know why it's needed. So please, please, please come to one of the 2 tours of Shaker Lane where you can get information on the project. You can ask questions about it as well. This is a biggie, folks. You need to stay informed and give your opinions early in the planning process. Right?
Another project.
Yeah, another project. But this one, I saw some of the early numbers and sticker shock.
I know, well, all of them are now.
Yeah.
We can't help it. Everything costs.
Well, one of the things they say right now, they've already got over 500 kids enrolled in Shaker Lane,
Wow.
which is, I mean, that's kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade.
I wonder how many
Right.
were in when you went to school there. You went to school there.
I did. Not that many, that's for sure. I mean, the town was smaller then, but you know, it's growing, and with all the new housing that's coming online in the next couple years, we're going to need that space.
Oh, yeah.
Because I assume that the way these houses are, that you're either going to get some young families or some retirees living
I'm
in
not sure about the retirees.
Well, some of them are going to be affordable or senior housing, so.
Yeah, a
But
few.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Don't get negative on me now. I can hear it in your voice.
Well, I keep thinking we're going to have to change our name to Big Ton.
Big town. Yeah, little town, big town.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. So.
Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just go with the flow. All right, I guess I'd better get going and figure out what gifts I need to buy for Christmas because
Yes, here's my list. I'll email it to you again.
I hope it's short because my money's going to be spent on projects.
That's true, yeah.
Anyway, there is little time left, and before that, have a very happy Thanksgiving. And I want to give thanks for every day. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hug a senior.